And I want to say thank you so much for inviting me. I want to jump in because what we have to offer is something very unique, and I'm very passionate about it. And a little background about myself: I do have a very funny husband. I laugh every single day of my life. He is so much fun, and he's my soulmate. And I've been very, very fortunate in order to raise 3 boys with him. And I always tease about this. I say, you know that you've got 3 boys when cups are all over the counter, and I'm not talking about drinking cups. So nonetheless, I've got 3 boys. We have a great time. We have so much fun with them, and life is very busy. But in that busyness is I have had time freedom to spend with them, to coach them in all their sports. And I've been their soccer coach, and I'm also been in the fitness industry for over 30 years. So I've been able to work with them as they get a little older, 14, 13, and 10, to work with them with their sports and with their bodies and understand how it all works together. And it's because of this business that has allowed me to spend a lot of time with my family. That's number one for me. So I want to kind of walk you back and tell you a little bit about my story. And when I had graduated out of college, I thought I was going to be an attorney, and then I worked for one. And I went, ugh. I said, attorneys are needed, but I'm not detail oriented. I better change courses quickly. But I've always had a passion for making people healthier. And in that, what I ended up doing was really starting in and really going into personal training. And I've trained from the beginning athlete all the way to the Olympic athlete and everybody in between. And I really trained when working out was not popular. In fact, recently I'd run into an older woman. She said, "I'm so happy I grew up before working out got popular." And I thought, what? Are you kidding? And now, of course, it's a big craze. And people it's a lot more visual. But back then, it was really pretty hard to make a living in the fitness industry, even though I have a passion for making people healthier. And so what I did was I've always remained in that industry. But it was real interesting because in my career, I actually changed courses a bit. And a friend of mine asked me to go work for him, which was in the insurance business. And here in Southern California, with the insurance business, I was a wholesaler for life insurance. And what we did was we protected large estates, and I'm talking huge estates. In fact, some of these net worth of the individuals that we were protecting were upwards of $100 million, $200 million, $500 million. And I always took a look at that and think, wow, look at the wealth. And what did they do to create that kind of wealth? And it always came down to 2 things. One, they were either first to market with something. And I mean, first to market with a lot of them were the dot-commers and early with computers and all of that. That was one. And the second thing was, it was interesting because it was real estate. It always came back to residual income in real estate. And I thought, gosh, whenever I'm gonna find that, either first to market with something or residual income, I want to share it with everybody. And so I continued to be in that industry for a while, and all along, I ended up, which remained my passion, which was fitness training, and then the fitness industry. And it was about about 10 years ago now, and somebody had introduced me to a superfood. And I thought, wow, wait a minute, a superfood that nobody here in the States knew about. Nobody knew about it. And I thought, well, gosh, here we go. If this could be first to market, maybe it could be very profitable. And it was really a superfood that could be a powerhouse in the whole antioxidant realm, when antioxidants were very, very popular. And what the thought process back then, 10 years ago, was that if a little bit of antioxidants were good for your body, then a lot are even better. And so this superfood, I thought, we're going to run with this. And I took that company to $1 billion. I helped take that company to $1 billion. It wasn't just me alone. And in that process, I earned a 7-figure income, and it was twofold. It was first to market with something, and then also was residual income in the industry that we're talking about today. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. And what we ended up doing was there was only one problem with this, was that it was a food. It was not, you can't patent a food. And so how were we going to protect that? We couldn't. And so then after years had gone by, you could find that food everywhere. You could find it in the grocery stores. You could find it in the Costco's and everywhere here. And so we could not protect it. You can't patent a food. So that business actually went away. And in that process, I kept thinking, wait a minute, real estate, real estate. So I took the money I earned from that company and we bought some Southern California real estate just when the market had turned, and we had picked up some rental properties. Well, the only problem with rental properties and residual income in real estate is that you only make money when they're paid off. And I thought, wow, okay, now we've leveraged ourselves and we have 4 income properties in Southern California, mind you. But the renters are paying the rents, but we're not making any money. And so I thought, oh my gosh, wait a minute, this first to market and this real estate thing, I don't know if I figured that thing out yet. And so in that process, I want to pause right there, because what I truly believe what we have in our hands today, I'm so excited about, is something that has allowed me. I thought, wait a minute, could lightning have struck twice? Because I was now introduced to something even newer that was first to market with a patent. And then also I thought, what if the first company I could buy those properties, and now the second company I could pay them off? And that's exactly what we're doing. And let's just take it there for a minute. The company we're going to talk about today, I would need 10 paid off Southern California properties in order to make the same kind of income residually that LifeVantage is paying me today. I'm like, what? So if you ever wondered if you were at the right place at the right time, baby, you're here, okay? It's now. So let me back up. So let me tell you what this is. If we go back to antioxidants, I always knew that everything was measured in McCord units. And I didn't know what McCord was, but when you had your antioxidants measured in your body, it was McCord units. Well, I was introduced to this company and I watched an ABC primetime investigative report that Joe McCord was interviewed by an ABC interviewer talking all about something that I had not heard about before. And what it was instead of taking antioxidants, it's your body upregulating its own antioxidants, and they can fight free radicals at the rate of 1,000,000 to 1. And I thought, oh my gosh, hold on. And there are 7 patents on this product. We may be onto something big here. So what I found out was that Joe McCord is he's actually the grandfather of all free radical biology. And so I thought, wow, this is very, very interesting. So after taking a look at this ABC primetime, and of course you can take a look at that at a different time if you haven't seen it yet, what it proved is that this product named Protandim reduces oxidative stress in the body by 40% in the first 30 days. Now, I have to say, in the personal training and the fitness arena, when people have come to me with everything there is under the sun, I had to be very, very careful to put my reputation on the line in order to put my name behind anything, because it had better be the best. I was not going to refer this to Olympic athletes unless this was the best. So I actually got the chance to meet with Dr. McCord. And I said, all right, give it to me straight. What is this? And he said, it's very simple. When you eat a blueberry, it fights free radicals in the body 1-to-1 like a Dixie cup of water on a house fire. Now, I'm sitting there telling him, Dr. McCord, I love kale, and all I've ever talked about before kale got popular was kale. In fact, I used to go to the grocery store, and the guy at the grocery store would say, I'd ask for kale. He says, oh, you're the lady with the turtles. And I'm like, I don't have turtles. And he goes, well, only 2 people ask for kale. You and the lady that has the turtles. She feeds it to her turtles. I said, no. And now kale was so popular because it's a superfood that you could find it in kale salads and kale soups and kale chips and kale everything. Well, what he was telling me was that when you put a direct antioxidant like blueberries or kale and everything else into your body, it fights free radicals 1-to-1 like a Dixie cup of water on a house fire. And I thought, well, that's not very encouraging. And he says, but when you put Protandim in your body, it fights free radicals. I should say it upregulates and turns on your survival genes in your body that know how to fight free radicals at the rate of 1,000,000 to 1. It's like putting a fire hose in every room of that burning house. And I went, okay, who knows about this? He's like, well, a couple people know about it, and we were trying to get it out there. In fact, the Oprah people called. True story. Oprah people called, and I'm like, and you didn't call back? And he's like, well, didn't quite know who she was. I'm like, what? That's okay. Do you know what a big mouth we have? We've got to share this with the world. And so let me explain the significance of what this little tiny yellow pill can do. So this right here, I knew after doing my research that this was the best NRF2 activator on the market. And I not only put my name behind it, I have shared it with thousands of people. I am passionate about it because it reduces this oxidative stress. Very simply, you cut an apple open, you leave it on the counter, it turns brown, doesn't it? Well, because the oxygen hits it. And our bodies do the same thing. That, you know what? In fact, Dr. McCord told me, you're the best you're ever going to be at 24 years old. Get over it. I think we're all over 24 right now. But it doesn't have to stay like that, right? He says, and then at 24, the aging process starts to happen. All those survival genes, that factory that are making all those survival genes just starts to slowly shut down. And this is the light switch that turns them back on. And that right there, I thought, wow, we are onto something big. So this is a NRF2 activator. NRF2 is a protein in the body. And there is a book here that I want to share with you quickly, that it was a New York Times bestseller here in the States, and I'm sure around the world now. And it's called The Grain Brain. And in this book, the doctor that wrote this book, I want to just read something from this. And he says to take control of your own genes. Now, before I go on, have you ever gone to the doctor's office and you have to write down everything that it runs in your history? Like what runs in your history? Is it cancer? Is it heart disease? Is it, Alzheimer's? How depressing is that? Have you ever wondered, is that my fate? It doesn't have to be your fate anymore. We used to think that used to be our fate, but guess what? Now we know differently. Because it says take control of your own genes. He says there's one important molecule I'd like to highlight that has everything to do with your ability to control your own genes expression, NRF2. He says NRF2 is a specific protein within every cell. This protein remains dormant, unable to move or operate until it's released by a NRF2 activator. Ha! This is a NRF2 activator. Now, one of my friends is a doctor in Phoenix, Arizona, here in the States. And what she has said and what the science shows is that not only is this an activator, this Protandim and the 5 natural plant ingredients in it understands how to upregulate or downregulate that NRF2 activator, because pharmaceutical companies are running and gunning for this. It's the biggest news in science is NRF2 activation. But this is the problem. When a pharmaceutical company comes out with a NRF2 activator, which they have, it turns the NRF2 protein on and leaves it on. It's like a faucet of water. You can leave, some water is good, but if you leave the faucet on, it's going to create a flood, isn't it? And it's very dangerous. And so what this does is it turns it, upregulates NRF2, and then it turns it off, and it upregulates it and turns it off. And this is brilliant. 5 plant ingredients that all together working in synergy, not only do they work in synergy, but each ingredient at a perfect recipe, hence our patents on the product now, each one of them are 18 times more powerful than anything they could be on their own. And so people say, well, gosh, I can go out and get turmeric and green tea and ashwagandha, bacopa, and milk thistle. Yes, you can. But it will not have the same effect. It will not be a nerve 2 activator until you have the perfect recipe, which is Protandim. And so that's what we're so excited about, is that this has science behind it. When the ABC Primetime aired, universities like Harvard, Ohio State, Louisiana State, the Czech Republic, all sorts of universities called McCord and asked him, hey, may we please initiate and fund our own studies? And I thought, oh my gosh, he said, that's music to my ears, go for it. Well, all of those studies are back, and it's all positive, no negative, and it is powerful science. And that's what's so exciting. Now, they didn't stop there. What they did was that, if you excuse me 1 second, my son needs a ride home. Okay, thank you. And we're back. Mama's doing business. Okay. So I'm laughing with you, Charlotte. I can see you. I'm so glad you're laughing because I was sweating there for a second. Okay. So what they didn't stop at nerve 2, they actually dug into the science even more, and they have produced nerve 1. And let me tell you the significance of nerve 1. This is all about mitochondria and about the powerhouse. So I'm going to take you back to 9th grade. I don't know if you guys have 9th grade out there, biology, but 9th grade biology talks about the cell, and inside the cell, there's this powerhouse, and that powerhouse produces all of your energy. And that powerhouse is mitochondria. Now, in this other book, Brain Maker, he dedicates a whole entire chapter on this mitochondria. And what he says is the mighty mitochondria. Mitochondria, they are, when they're healthy, they make for a healthy human. So I guess I could pause right there and say, healthy mitochondria, healthy human. Non-healthy mitochondria, not healthy human, I guess, but right? But this is what he says. And now we know, for instance, that they play a key role in degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and even cancer. So if this produces all the energy in the cell, can you imagine that if you don't have energy, and next time you hear someone go, gosh, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, you guys have energy, it's like 7:30 in the morning. But when someone gets to be about 2:30 in the afternoon right now and they go, oh, I'm so tired, say, I know what it is. It's your mitochondria are not working properly. Okay, let's get them back and kicking in. And one other thing, it says you and I possess more than 10 million billion mitochondria, making up a full 10% of our body weight. So we're talking about 10% of our body weight, mitochondria. Do you not think that that's kind of important to take care of it? It's huge. And that is something that is real big. If you go to PubMed, stands for Public Medical, pubmed.gov, which is our National Institute of Health's website, and you just type in mitochondrial disease, you'll find all sorts of things. In fact, you'll find the #1 symptom is fatigue. And nobody wants that. So anytime somebody's like, oh, I'm so tired, possibly got the solution. Okay, but we have a whole product line. I'm not going to go through everything, but I am going to touch on another couple ones. And that is this, is that true science. When the company came out with Protandim Nerve 2 for the inside of the body, well, what is our largest organ? It's our skin, and it's our first line of defense. And so they created True Science. It's a skin care line. Now, this is not just any ordinary skincare. This is Nerve 2 activation for your skin. This is about healing the skin from the inside out or outside in. And my sister is an Emmy Award-winning makeup artist in Hollywood. She's won 2 Emmys, and she was nominated 17 times. Woo, girl. And I'll tell you what, she's building a business with this company because of this product. She has access to the best skincare in the world. And she says this is the best skincare in the world. So this is what we have, is that the company is not stopped there. You can go to lifevantage.com. You can look at all the different product lines, but I do just want to say this. You know, we've got it from the inside out, the outside in. We've got brain health. We also have gut health with all sorts of different things. And now, you know, weight management. And I got to say, I was a little nervous being in the fitness industry, coming out with weight management. It's the best out there, because anytime this company, LifeVantage, does anything and produces any product, it will only be the best. And so that is what I'm super excited about. So what the company did was that it's really interesting. Back in 1905, back in 1905, 2005, geez, back in 2005, when the ABC primetime aired, we're going way back. And when that aired, Dr. McCord, he was after it all aired, there was so much excitement about it. Okay. And so after that aired, he had $5 million of orders that came in. Well, so you're probably thinking about, well, if this product is that good, why have I not heard about this? Why is it not out there? And good question, because back then, you have to remember something. That was really early e-commerce, really hard to just put it online. And they tried to put it in some retail outlets here in the States. And by the time they actually got it into the retail outlets, well, by that time, the hype had died down and people had not seen that ABC primetime. So they were, you got the best product in the world, but if it's sitting on a shelf and no one knows what it is, you do not have a very good business. The word has to get out there. In fact, I'm selling my car right now, and I kind of don't want to sell it. And so my husband says, how is anyone going to know about this if there's no for sale sign on the car? I said, yeah, how is no one going to know about this product unless we open our mouths and say something about it? And so they brought in some experts, and the experts said, no, hold on. This is a story that has to be told. They stripped it from the retail outlets, and they said this has to go into person-to-person distribution. People need to share that ABC primetime. We need to share this product by word-of-mouth advertising. So what the company did was they took all the advertising costs they would have spent on bringing this to market in a traditional way, and instead they pay you and I, the word-of-mouth advertisers. So you introduce it to a friend, and the friend uses it, and the company says, hey, thanks for referring your friend. We're going to pay you for it. And when that friend goes and refers to someone, the company says, hey, thanks to both of you. We're going to pay you for it. You say, thank you very much. Now, as a fitness trainer, can tell you how many Nikes I've sold for Nike, and they've never once paid me for it. I could tell my whole class to wear green Nikes to be healthier, and they would. But Nike wouldn't do that. That's not their business model. My sister owns a phenomenal restaurant. It's like 2 hours away from me. I still send people there all the time. It's our grandmother's recipes. So good. She said, as much as she loves me, she doesn't write me a check and say, thanks for referring your friends, because it's not her business model. But it's brilliant with this business model. You know why? Because of technology right now, what we're doing right here, we can be entrepreneurs at our fingertips. And years ago, actually, when I was in college, you had to go to Harvard to get an entrepreneurial degree. Now we're in a share economy. We share everything by our technology, and it's been the rise of the entrepreneur. And because of this, now this industry of person-to-person distribution, which is also called network marketing, is taken off. Over 450,000 people a week join a network marketing company. Why? There's no overhead. There is no legal fees you have to pay and employees to hire and all the stuff that a traditional business has. In fact, one of my girlfriends just recently inherited her mother-in-law's business. And it is medical devices like canes and knee braces. And she says, you know what, Cherise? I've become a giant dressing room. People come in, they try on the knee brace, they get the walking cane, and they try it all out, but they go to Amazon to order it. And so the way we've done business is completely changed, and it's just lent the most crazy good opportunity for us. So in this, it's the power of numbers, and it's growing and growing and growing, and it's called residual income. And I just want to touch on this because this is the power of this. So no matter what country you're in, you know that J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, created an economic engine for her and her family, didn't she? She wrote Harry Potter once, but because of the popularity of that, she's getting paid over and over and over and over. So unless you're a recording artist, or you have some incredible talent that I don't know, maybe you could put on YouTube and get paid on it, I don't know. There aren't too many things that the average Joe can do to create residual income. Real estate, I already told you what happened with that with me, is that you don't make money unless you pay it all the way off. So you need money to make money in that. And then with this is brilliant because I have now introduced these products. I've introduced this company to about 60 people. And those 60 people have turned into almost 35,000 people in 8 different countries. I don't know all these people in all these different countries, but because the power of the product, because it works so well, and people just can't keep their mouths shut about this, they are sharing it with one another. And the company has said, thanks for referring your friends. And those people referring their friends, we're going to pay you for it. And now from here, it's been such a wild ride. And I cannot say that not only is it about making money, because I'll tell you something, I can make money anywhere. Can't necessarily make residual income anywhere, but I have been able to create that. But more than anything, it's about the people, the friendships, the fun that we have. I mean, where else? Okay, I'm going to go there, Charlotte. Where else can you have an international business and wear exercise pants? Can you see them? And do this at the same time. We are on to something big, and I want you to see the big picture with this. That is what's so exciting, and it's a community of people that have one purpose. It is to change the face of human health so that people can live longer and healthier. And so that I want to ask you a question. If you had a little button that you could push to live forever, would you do it? You would, Charlotte? Oh, good. You would? Okay. Well, because a lot of people say no because they don't want to live forever. But what if you could even just have a button that could extend your life a little longer and be super healthy all the way through? How about that one? Huh? Well, this is a pill that can possibly extend your life and, of course, make you healthier in the process. And I'll tell you what, this community, that's what we want. We want everyone to live longer, to be healthier. And I'll say this, is that it was said by Henry Nouwen that community is a fellowship of people who don't hide their joys or sorrows, but make them visible to each other in a gesture of hope. That is what we have. Human health here for the better and a gesture of hope because we have an answer to make people healthier and wealthier. I'm so excited and thankful that you guys have invited me on this here. And I'm here if you want to ask, I guess, any questions. So thank you, Charlotte.
Oh my goodness, you have just inspired me so much, Cherise. Thank you so much. I love that quote. You know, how true is that a community of people that have something special that can bring hope to others. You know, that's what we are, isn't it? Like our whole company, our business, our focus, that's what we do. And I just love that. There's a couple of questions, if you don't mind, I'm going to quickly ask you. One of the ladies, in fact, there's 2 that have asked, can you ever overstimulate the nerve 2 or can you overactivate nerve 2 with Protandim or with other health options?
Very interesting. So that was a question that I asked my friend who is a doctor, and she said with some of the pharmaceuticals you can. In fact, there was a study done by, there's a nerve 2 activator called Tecfidera and it's for MS patients. And one of the problems with that actual drug is that it turns on the nerve 2 pathway and it leaves the faucet running. So yes, but with these herbs, no, it knows how to, these special herbs and in a certain recipe turned them on and off, and they tried to make something to keep it on all the way just to see if it was harmful. They couldn't do it. So absolutely not. This is not harmful at all. You can turn on the nerve 2 pathway, upregulate it and downregulate it where it needs to be. That's the brilliance of this. And I will tell you one other thing. I was talking with the doctor very early on when they came out with a study. It was the Ohio State Heart Study. And I asked him, I said, he was sitting next to me, what does this mean to you? And he said, the science is so significant that when the medical community actually gets a hold of this, it's going to crack open the whole health world altogether, because, and so this is not harmful at all. So absolutely. Now, and it's not, because very good question though, because, you know, some herbs can do that, but not in this case at all. So we're on.
Awesome. Cherise, also, who's the author of the Brain Maker book?
That is Dr. David Perlmutter.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And he's an MD. He actually studies, his father passed away of Alzheimer's, and he studies everything about the brain. And all of his books talk about NERV2 in there. They talk about mitochondria. It's brilliant.
Cherise, have you seen the book called Killing Cancer, Not People by Bob Wright?
I have heard of it, yes.
Have you? Yeah, actually in there he talks, it's about 2 pages that he dedicates to Protandim in that book. And he actually, I remember the quote, he said, with or without cancer, his highest recommendation for people is to be on Protandim. So quite powerful.
Wow.
And he lost both his parents to cancer as well. So it's quite a scary thing. So guys, I'll just mention our disclaimer that we will never ever claim that Protandim can cure, heal, prevent, or mitigate disease at all. So we're just showing you, you know, what different authors have written about our product. One last question, and that is, as a busy mum, because you got 3 boys, right? So you're busy mum, you're a wife, you're running a house, you're running this massive business. How do you do it all? Because a lot of people out there will look at it and they'll think, oh my gosh, this sounds really, really exciting, but how do I fit this into my life? So can you share a little bit of how do you do that?
Absolutely. I've been with LifeVantage now for 7 years, and I am a busy person, as everybody is. And you know what? It's kind of like a purse. Anybody get a bigger purse? You add more to it. If you had more time, you would fill it up, wouldn't you? And so what I've been able to do with this is, yes, I mean, I'll tell you, when someone says they're busy, I'm like, I got the busy number here because of the kids in their sports, also personal training, which I've backed off of that now because of what I have, but building this business very large in the household, and I've been involved in a lot of different charities and things. Really what it comes down to is that it's really about sharing this one by one by one. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the power of numbers, because when you share it with someone and you see that their health has improved and they share it with one, and it's a ripple effect. And so it's the power of numbers. 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8, and 8 and 8 is 16. And then we get into crazy numbers. So in the very beginning, it may seem like, gosh, I'm only putting in a couple hours a week. But when that is consistent over time, over and over and over, then what happens is it's the compound effect. And this is the brilliance of this business, because any other business I would be involved in, like, let's take my personal training. I felt like I was shackled to you know, handcuffed to staircases. We were running stairs at the beach over and over and over. And it's like, okay, my legs look great, but I have no time for anything. And it was because I had to be there. And so I couldn't coach my kids when I was there at the staircase running and training people. And so, you know, you look at any other business, it's like, you have to physically be there at all times. And I want to mention something, Charlotte, is that there was one time, and this has happened in the 7 years a few times in our life, is that we've had, you know, my father unfortunately passed away. And during that month, I didn't work at all. I mean, you can imagine with something like that, I didn't work at all. And that was one of my largest checks at that time. It was my largest checks during that, because the power of numbers. So when you think you're not doing a lot, it doesn't take a lot. It takes consistent behavior. Even if it's a few hours a week that you carve out, but you do it over and over and over, it will happen. I always tell people, you can't brush your teeth only on Thursdays and expect to have a healthy mouth, right? So you have to do this business on a daily basis, a little at a time, and it will grow into something big, just because the nature of the way the business model has been laid out. That's the brilliance. It's better for a busy person than it is with someone that has a lot of time.
Yeah, I agree. Initially, when I first started building my business, I used to think, I've got to find people that are not busy. But then I soon realized actually busy people know how to get stuff done, right? And it's almost like the busier you are, the more this just fits into your life. And the beauty of it is that you can do it anywhere. Anywhere.
Yes, you can. And in fact, when someone says they're really, really busy, I say, that's fantastic. Tell me, what are you busy with? And then they start going down, well, I've got all my kids' sports and I'm involved in a lot of different charities and I have work and I have this and that. I said, perfect. You just wrote your list, because all of those avenues are people that you're involved with, that know you and probably you have an influence with and that trust you. And I tell my boys when they want to join another sport, I say, good. We got a whole new prospect list with lacrosse players now. Get them involved.
That's cool. That is so cool. I was just thinking this morning actually that I need to start going to more groups. I want to go out there and meet more people. So my gosh, am I not busy enough? Yes, I am super busy. But you know what? It's so beautiful meeting new people and knowing that what you have could just be the thing they are looking for or they've been praying for. So it's so exciting. Cherise, from the bottom of our hearts, a massive thank you. We know you are super busy. We are doing everything we can to get you to come out to Australia because I know you will impact our people massively, and which you already have done today. So a huge heartfelt thank you. Congratulations on your own success. You're a superstar. We all watch you and we're just so honored to have you in our business. So thank you so much from everybody. And guys, thank you to our guests and to the distributors for joining us this morning or this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are. And we believe that you will be impacted by the message that Cherise brought you today. So guys, thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome night. And I'll close this meeting now and say it's officially wrapped. Thank you, everyone.
Thank